The biggest story surrounding the Philadelphia Eagles right now is not just what happened on the practice field during the latest OTA session. It is the combination of major roster developments, unexpected injury news, and the early signs of what this team could become as it transitions into a new era. One of the first pieces of news that immediately caught attention was the injury suffered by first-round rookie wide receiver My Lemon. After making a strong impression during rookie minicamp and carrying that momentum into OTA practices, Lemon has unfortunately suffered a hamstring injury that will force him to miss the remainder of spring workouts. While the injury is not believed to be serious and all indications suggest he will be ready for training camp, it still represents a setback during a critical period of his development. The reason this matters is simple. Spring practices are not just about conditioning or learning playbooks. They are often the first opportunity for rookies to fully immerse themselves in the speed, complexity, and expectations of NFL football. Lemon had already earned significant attention by working alongside DeVonta Smith with the first-team offense. That alone speaks volumes about how highly the coaching staff views his potential. Missing valuable practice reps now means fewer opportunities to build chemistry with Jalen Hurts and become comfortable within the offensive system. It is not the end of the world, but it is a reminder that development rarely follows a perfect path. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, the Eagles quarterback experienced a day that perfectly reflected the challenges of learning a completely new offense. His practice performance was filled with both encouraging moments and frustrating mistakes. The day started on a rough note when Hurts threw an interception directly to Jeremiah Trotter Jr. during 7-on-7 drills. It was the kind of mistake that, in a real game situation, likely would have resulted in a defensive touchdown. For a quarterback of Hurts' caliber, those are the throws he wants back immediately. But one of the reasons Hurts has established himself as one of the NFL's better quarterbacks is his ability to respond after adversity. Later in practice, he delivered a beautifully placed deep ball to Dallas Goedert. The throw showcased the touch and accuracy that have become trademarks of Hurts' game. Unfortunately, the pass was dropped, preventing what would have been one of the highlights of the day. There were more ups and downs to follow. Hurts later overthrew Maris Brown on a deep route that had touchdown potential. Those missed opportunities are exactly the type of plays the Eagles need to capitalize on, especially as the receiving core adjusts to major changes. Building chemistry does not happen automatically. Every missed connection represents a learning opportunity, but also a reminder that timing and trust still need to be developed. The positive moments continued when Hurts connected with Saquon Barkley for a long touchdown pass. The play design created a wide-open opportunity, and Hurts delivered exactly where the ball needed to go. It was one of the clearest examples of the offensive creativity the Eagles hope to unlock this season. He also found Tavian Wicks for another touchdown later in practice, although some defensive players believe the play should have been blown dead because of what would have been a sack. The coaching staff allowed the play to continue and counted the score, giving Hurts another successful rep during an otherwise inconsistent session. What is important to remember is the context surrounding these performances. Hurts is once again adapting to change. Learning a new offense takes time, repetition, and patience. Every practice serves as another step in that process. While much of the attention was focused on the offense, the defense may have produced one of the most encouraging developments of the entire spring. Riq Woolen continues to make a major impression. The talented defensive back has been earning praise from Vic Fangio, which is significant because Fangio is not known for handing out compliments casually. Woolen has consistently flashed throughout spring practices, breaking up passes and showing the athletic traits that made him such an intriguing addition. During the latest session, he added another pass breakup to an already impressive collection of plays. His ability to challenge receivers at the catch point continues to stand out. If Woolen maintains this level of performance throughout training camp, the Eagles could be looking at one of the strongest cornerback groups in football. The combination of Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, and Woolen gives Philadelphia an incredibly talented trio capable of matching up against virtually any receiving core in the NFL. Another surprise emerging from these practices involves the quarterback depth chart. Many expected Tanner McKee to firmly establish himself as the backup quarterback entering the season. Instead, veteran Andy Dalton continues to receive second-team reps ahead of him. Dalton was heavily involved during practice, while McKee received relatively few opportunities. That development raises legitimate questions about how the coaching staff currently views the quarterback room. Is Dalton simply providing veteran stability? Are the Eagles preserving McKee for another reason? Could there be long-term roster considerations involved? Those answers remain unclear for now, but the practice rotation is impossible impossible to ignore. At the same time, rookie quarterback Cole Payton continues to quietly generate positive buzz. The 5th-round pick has impressed observers with several throws and appears to be making the most of every opportunity he receives. As the Eagles move deeper into the offseason program, storylines continue to emerge from every corner of the roster. A promising rookie receiver now faces a temporary setback. Jalen Hurts is navigating the challenges of another offensive transition. Defensive players are making strong impressions. Unexpected depth chart developments are creating new questions. And perhaps most importantly, this team is beginning to reveal the early foundation of what could become one of the most fascinating seasons in recent Eagles history. With My Lemon sidelined, Jalen Hurts working through a new system, and several players already making strong cases for larger roles, which development do you think is the most important one for Eagles fans to watch as training camp gets closer? The changes happening around this Eagles roster are not limited to the practice field. Some of the most revealing moments from the latest OTA session came from the players themselves as they addressed one of the biggest developments the organization has experienced in recent years: the departure of A.J. Brown. For the first time since the move became official, several key players spoke publicly about the situation, and their comments provided a fascinating look inside the locker room. DeVonta Smith, who now steps into the role of the team's primary wide receiver, was asked directly about losing his longtime teammate and close friend. His response was simple but powerful: business is business. Those 3 words captured the reality of the NFL. Players understand that difficult decisions are part of the league, even when they involve respected veterans and franchise stars. What stood out most was the way Smith described A.J. Brown's impact inside the organization. There was no bitterness, no frustration, and no criticism. Instead, there was respect. According to Smith, A.J. was beloved throughout the locker room. His leadership, relationships with teammates, and commitment to the team left a lasting impression on the people around him. While there were moments during the 2025 season when frustrations became visible publicly, nobody inside the building appears willing to let those moments define Brown's legacy in Philadelphia. In fact, many players still view him as one of the most important Eagles of his era. The connection between Brown and Smith helped create one of the NFL's most dangerous receiving duos over the last several seasons. Their skill sets complemented each other perfectly. Brown brought physical dominance, explosive plays, and elite yards after catch ability. Smith provided precision route running, reliability, and big play potential of his own. Together, they forced defenses into impossible decisions. Now, however, the spotlight shifts fully toward Smith. What makes his comments especially interesting is the confidence he displayed when discussing his future role. Smith made it clear that his objective remains the same regardless of where he sits on the depth chart. Whether he is listed as receiver 1, 2, 3, or 4, his focus remains on making plays and helping the team win. Still, there is no denying the opportunity in front of him. There were stretches last season when Smith looked like Philadelphia's most effective receiver. His consistency, route running, and ability to produce in critical situations often made him the offense's most reliable target. Now he enters a season where he will likely see more responsibility than ever before. The expectation is no longer that Smith complements another star. The expectation is that he becomes the star. Another player who spoke emotionally about A.J. Brown's departure was Quinyon Mitchell. Mitchell revealed just how close their relationship became during his first season in Philadelphia. He described Brown as a big brother figure, someone who helped him build confidence both on and off the field. That relationship appears to have played a major role in Mitchell's rapid development. While Eagles fans saw Mitchell emerge as a confident and aggressive defender during his rookie campaign, he admitted that Brown's influence helped bring that confidence out of him. Brown constantly encouraged younger players, challenged them to improve, and helped them understand what it takes to succeed at the highest level. Mitchell's comments also revealed the lasting respect between the two players. One of Brown's final memorable gestures inside the Eagles locker room involved presenting signed jerseys to Mitchell and Cooper DeJean after both defenders earned major recognition for their performances. Moments like that explain why so many players continue speaking highly of Brown even after his departure. But while attention has naturally focused on the offense, some of the most intriguing developments are happening on the defensive side of the ball. Jordan Mailata offered perhaps the strongest endorsement anyone has given to new offensive coordinator Sean Mannion. Mailata Mailata did not simply praise him, he practically placed him among the elite minds inside the entire organization. According to Mailata, if the 3 smartest people in the Eagles facility were locked inside a room together, Sean Mannion would be one of them. That is an extraordinary statement coming from one of the team's most respected veterans. Mailata described Mannion as a football wizard whose understanding of the game could unlock exciting possibilities for the offense moving forward. What's especially notable is how enthusiastic players appear when discussing Mannion's system. The excitement surrounding the offense feels different. Players are not simply learning a new scheme. They seem genuinely energized by it. Mailata also delivered another eye-opening assessment when discussing defensive tackle or Bernard. His description was almost unbelievable. He called Bernard a freak. He said Bernard was not of this planet. He emphasized the defensive lineman's rare combination of size, strength, athleticism, and effort. Those are not comments players make casually. What makes the praise even more significant is that Bernard has reportedly earned admiration from multiple influential figures within the organization. Coaches, executives, and veteran players all seem to believe his potential is enormous. The recurring message is clear. If Bernard continues developing and successfully puts all of his physical gifts together, the Eagles may have discovered a player capable of becoming a major force along the defensive front. At the same time, another fascinating storyline continues to emerge involving Cooper DeJean. The versatile defensive back revealed that he has been spending significant time learning safety responsibilities while continuing to expand his overall understanding of the defense. To help accelerate that process, DeJean has been studying one of the greatest defensive backs in NFL history, Charles Woodson. That decision makes perfect sense. Woodson built a legendary career because of his versatility. He excelled at cornerback, safety, coverage responsibilities, run support, and playmaking. If DeJean can develop even a portion of that flexibility, it would provide enormous value to Vic Fangio's defense. And speaking of Fangio, the respected defensive coordinator recently received another honor recognizing his incredible coaching career. His latest achievement serves as further confirmation of the impact he has made throughout decades of NFL coaching. All of these developments are happening before training camp has even begun. Young players are emerging, veterans are embracing larger leadership roles, coaches are earning praise from inside the building, new opportunities are being created across the roster. The Eagles may still be months away from meaningful regular season football, but the foundation for the upcoming season is already taking shape in fascinating ways. And if the early signs from OTAs